Welcome to this day for this Tuesday, December 15th. I'm Paul Ortiz. We had a late scratch with Lisa Hart this morning, so I'm going to do the intro and then we're going to let Lisa take over the show. We have a couple of great guests to share with you in a little bit. But first, let's tell you about our meeting today. We're going to have the third mutual meeting. This is a regular meeting. That is going to be on, let me get on the right side here. That's going to be at 9:30 this morning if you're watching us live, and that will be probably about from 9:30 till about 11:30. But this will be their wrap up for 2020, and it's a Third Mutual meeting. So if you're a member of Third Mutual, be sure and stay tuned and watch this meeting live at 9:30 this morning. Well, Lisa has a couple of guests coming on today. We're going to talk to our good friend Mark Monahan. He's over there with the El Toro Water District, and we'll be talking about their efforts, not only here in your community, but to conserve water and also their COVID efforts for 2020 as well. And, you know, we'll look into the future of 2021 and see what they have for our community here in Laguna Woods. Also, she had a chance to talk to a couple of doctors. They're going to be talking about cardiology once again. These are some very smart gentlemen. One of them is a nuclear cardiologist, so we'll find out what that's all about. And he's with Memorial Care, and he's going to be telling us all about that, especially talking about heart prevention, heart disease and prevention. And a healthy heart, of course, is very important to all of us. So stay tuned for that. Well, let's give you our COVID numbers that we usually give you. This is going to be covid19.ca.gov, also ochealthinfo.com. That'll also give you information regarding those test kits that they will be mailing out, so be sure and check that out. If you have any questions, be sure and give them a call at 714-834-2000. And they'll be sure to answer any questions you might have. If you have any questions locally, you can always go to our website, LagunaWoodsVillageAlerts.com. And that email right there, info@LagunaWoodsVillage.com, very important email address, I think, to keep on your refrigerator even. If you have questions regarding COVID or anything that's happening in our community, be sure and check that out. They'll be sure to have someone from staff respond to you within probably a business day, if not 2 business days. And that could be questions regarding anything to do with resident services, COVID, or any questions you might have regarding what management and what your mutuals and the GRF are providing, and of course VMS. And we'll be sure and get those questions answered for you. Let's take a look outside. We're going to have some really nice weather in the next couple of days. You're looking at temperatures for today, 70 degrees, beautiful out there. 48 overnight, a little chilly overnight, but not too bad. And then, of course, the next couple of days, we're looking at some really nice temperatures. As the week progresses, the temperatures will come down 1 or 2 degrees, but again, overnight, still going to be a little chilly in those high 40s. But mostly sunny throughout the week, and then hopefully through the weekend. Let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset for today. Oh, a little beautiful picture there. That's Lexi. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:48 a.m. And our sunset this evening, and I was going to say this afternoon, it's 4:44 p.m. It's practically afternoon. So it gets pretty dark pretty early nowadays. So sunset this afternoon will be at 4:44 p.m. And we want to thank Debbie Byrne for bringing us this photo. A beautiful picture, I would imagine, of her dog Lexi. If you have a terrific photo, a holiday photo, especially nowadays, be sure and send it to LagunaWoodsVillageTV@gmail.com. Well, we're going to be back with Mark Monahan with the El Toro Water District, and then we'll let Lisa finish up the show. And for those of you that are with Third Mutual, be sure and stay tuned at 9:30. We'll go live from our Zoom boardroom and bring you the Third Mutual meeting. Enjoy the rest of the show.
COVID-19 has us all practicing social distancing, but in times like this, it's just as necessary to remember the importance of maintaining good dental health. Good dental health can help improve your body's immune system to fight deadly diseases, from respiratory infections to heart disease and diabetes. Our general dentists and specialists are committed to helping you stay healthy. Located right next to Laguna Woods with a bus stop right in front, we are open to see you for emergency cases. Call today for an appointment, 949-830-0074.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by the president of the El Toro Water District, Mark Monan. Well, Mark, thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
Great, Lisa. How are you doing?
Good, good. And, this is a very interesting subject. You always wonder what happens with fats and oils and grease and how they come out of the water at some point. So I'm actually very interested to know what happens. So thanks for sharing that information with us.
Nice to do it. Thank you.
So we'll just go through what you have here. And it looks like you would like to start with a community advisory group.
Yes, it's how we interact with our customers. And in 1993, we approved the formation of, we call it CAG for short, and it's to enhance communication between the district and the community we serve, and provides a forum to maintain open and effective communication with our customers.
Here, and you're going to go on some more, because I was going to ask you, how does somebody get involved with that?
Well, without COVID, we have a great lunch over at our district, and we wish everybody could join us for that. But right now, we'd like for them to join us through Zoom, and we'll do the same things, update them on current events, what's important to the district, and other things like that.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I'm going to let you finish.
Okay, so we have a very diversified service area, and it's important everybody understands the issues. So we talk about budgets and future water supply and water efficiency practices and water quality, regulatory, and environmental mandates. So the Board of Directors invites you to attend our CAG meetings, and you can do that quarterly through Zoom, and you can go to our website at atwd.com. and click on the agendas and minutes tab.
Oh.
And then we'd like you also to RSVP and send your name, address to district@etwd.com. And we hold it every quarter, February, May, August, and November for 2021.
Oh, so anybody can sign up to join in. It's not like a application process or anything.
We'd love the community to join in. The more the merrier.
Oh, that's really nice. I think that's a great idea. And so far, when did you have it this last month?
We had it a couple of months ago, so it's every quarter.
Oh, okay. So you had it in November, I take it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. And did that work out pretty well? I mean, obviously you've had to have Zooms for almost the entire time, with the exception of February.
Exactly. But it's a great way for us to get to know our customers and what their needs and wants are.
That's really a great idea. Wonderful. Okay, now we're getting to the juicy stuff: fats, oils, and grease.
So we call it fog, but it builds up and solidifies in main sewer lines, private sewer laterals, and district pumps. It accumulates on the primary cause of sewer blockages. And so we need our customers and our commercial customers to follow through and be very vigilant when it comes to fog. And other items that we beg you, don't put down the drain or garbage disposal, fruit and vegetables with skins, eggshells, coffee grinds, and these items do not break down and can mix with grease to cause a blockage. So, and that's definitely something we don't want to happen.
So let's go back just a little bit. So if I noticed your picture here with the bacon. So if I'm frying up stuff and I've got this big thick thing of grease, you don't want us to put that down the garbage disposal, right? And run the hot water to make, right? Because what happens to it?
Well, it formulates throughout the pipes all the way down, then gets in the system and then collects with other things and creates big balls of blockage. So yes, if you just pour it in a can and then put that can in the garbage, that's the proper way to dispose of it.
Okay, all right. And then I did not know that you couldn't put fruit with the rinds. What happens to that? Is it just block things up, or?
Yeah, it coagulates with other things and then blocks things. So please just throw the fruit out.
Okay. Okay, good. And then I noticed you have here for your commercial places too. So restaurants, they also have to do the same things.
Yeah, we want them to be vigilant and do the same things and not put it down the disposal or sewer line. And we're in line with them on a regular basis to make sure they're adhering to the standards we're setting.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. So if, for instance, someone in their home has a sewage leak or sewage backup, do they get charged like individually for that?
So that was something that you'd work with the village. When it goes from the manor unit out into the street and then down, we handle that. But inside your home or throughout the manor unit, that's the village that you'd work with on that.
Okay, and one thing that we had been talking about, even though I know this is not related, but it still causes a heck of a lot of backups, and that's those throwaway wipes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Please. The wipes block the fog, which blocks other things, and it's a never-ending domino chain.
Well, what a pain, to say the least. I mean, it looks like it's, it must cost, like you said, it costs a lot of money when you have to open up some of those lines.
Yeah, so not only are we opening up lines, but it increases our maintenance costs, and we really want to keep that down so we can provide water at the lowest possible price for our customers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Is there any other kind of breakdown that happens if you do get those things coming through?
Well, it's mainly unplugging them, but pipes can be affected by it. So it's if we can keep the sewer lines free and clear, then it really saves us on a lot of different bad things that can happen.
How often would you say your crews are out there unclogging?
Every day. We have crews working on all parts of our system all the time to make sure everything flows fluidly.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that they're out there, but I'm sad that they're dealing with blockages.
Well, it's part of our business. It's part of the business.
So going forward, obviously we're going to try to do the best we can in our homes and restaurants. Is there anything down the way that technology could change to help with that?
Well, there's ultraviolet light. There hasn't been a lot of technological changes in the past, but I foresee we're at a rapid pace in technology right now. So I foresee things coming down the pipe that it's very expensive. So you have to weigh the expense.
Right.
To the cost, but regular basis, and if anything makes sense, then we definitely want to add it to our system.
Okay, good. Well, that's good to know. At least technology is everywhere, and it's good to know that you guys have some sort of ideas maybe coming down the line. And yeah, it always seems to cost a lot when it first comes out.
And we have a pilot project now at the plant that you see behind me. So we're always trying different things, seeing how it works. When we try it as a pilot, we're not obligated to it, but we see if it works. And the manufacturer uses that data to provide other people with information.
Right. And you guys have been doing this for 60 years now. It is your anniversary, and
yeah.
That's great news.
Yes.
I mean, how long have you been there?
I've been there for 6 years, and it's been a great time, and we're very excited. We wish we could participate with all our customers. So hopefully sometime next year, before the 60th is over, we can get together. It's all dependent on COVID.
I know. Well, let's hope so. Well, thank you so much for the information. That was very interesting.
Great meeting you, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. We'll be right back after this.
If you truly want to make a difference, there's no better way than a career in California water, a dynamic, essential industry at a critical turning point.
Water is absolutely the most crucial thing hitting our Central Valley and our state.
It's work that's so essential that people want to stick with it if they're in it.
It will be life-changing, not only for yourself, but for generations to come.
Through times of drought, aging infrastructure, and a growing population, the water leaders of tomorrow will seek innovative solutions to unprecedented challenges, helping protect California's most vital resource.
We have to broaden our network so that we can bring all the bright minds together to solve a problem that has to be solved.
It's a valuable resource. We need to protect it, and we always need people to do that.
The water business isn't just about delivering water, moving it from point A to point B. A new wave of opportunities are emerging, from working in the field to a water quality lab, shaping policy in a boardroom to customer service and human resources, tackling complex regulations, or leveraging technology for critical improvements in water efficiency and sustainability.
It's not just building pipes and pump stations anymore.
We need engineers, we need those in the hard sciences, we need those in the soft sciences, people that understand law, understand public policy.
You need the accountants, you need the rate setters.
We need all types and all hands on deck.
There's nothing more central to California's future than carrying on the water industry's mission.
It's a tremendous responsibility we have in delivering that water resource that you can't live without.
If you really want to make an impact, then this is where you're going to have the most impact.
In California water, you'll find a vast array of long-term, well-paying careers with numerous opportunities to grow and make your mark, and new initiatives welcoming the next generation.
It makes me feel like I can make a real big difference.
If you think that this industry is a non-changing industry, that's exactly the reason why you have to get involved. That's why you have to come in to affect that change.
It's only going to become more important as years go on, too.
Why not be that person to take the water industry to the next level?
We're going to have to be more innovative, we're going to have to collaborate more, and we'll need a new generation to help us do that.
The impact that your service will bring to public service and to water in general will last for generations to come.
At Harvard Eye, we're so happy to be open again to see you for all of your medical and surgical eye care. We're taking great care to protect everyone from COVID-19 by seeing fewer patients, spacing out chairs in the lobby, sanitizing our office constantly, and doing much more. The world is changing a lot, but what hasn't changed is we're honored by your trust and confidence and committed to keeping you safe. We can't wait to see you again.
Welcome back. Well, today I'm joined by two doctors from Memorial Care Saddleback Medical Center. We have Dr. Van and Dr. Bahadurani. And thank you both for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having us.
So each of you have a little bit different of a title. However, you're both in cardiology. And before I get into asking you questions about that, let's take a little bit of time and learn about you. So Dr. Van, why don't we start with you?
Thanks, Lisa. I'm Ho-Hai Van. I'm one of the cardiologists at Saddleback. I belong to a large group, Pacific Cardiovascular Associates, which I serve as the medical director.
Okay. And your previous, I mean, you've been doing this for some time now?
I've been with the group since 2011. So it's been about 9 years.
Okay, great. And how about you, Dr. Bahadurani?
Sure. So I'm a interventional cardiologist as well as a structural interventionalist. And I'm currently in a private practice group. And I'm the current subsection chair of cardiology at Saddleback Memorial Hospital. I've been there since 2016. And before that, I was at the University of California, San Diego.
Oh, great. Okay, good. So, all right. So always I ask all of my doctors, because I just never really understand how you decide on what avenue of medicine you decide on, because there is an awful lot to choose from. So Dr. Van, what drew you to this area?
I've always been interested in cardiology from an early age, primarily because I've studied engineering and cardiology in general, the heart, the mechanics, and was always interesting to me. So it was a natural fit.
Okay, got it. How about you?
So my passion for cardiology actually started out back in high school. I got to see Dr. DeBecke and Dr. Cooley do a artificial pump for the heart. And it kind of, up until that point, I thought I was going to be going into engineering. And when I saw that, I thought this was amazing that you can combine such engineering feat with also medical care. And so from that point on, I tried to pursue a career in cardiology.
Oh, that is so interesting. How interesting that you were exposed to that in high school. Was it a science class?
It was called Health Occupational Students of America. And so they would take us on different field trips and different operating rooms and just expose us to a lot of the medical community.
That's a great idea. I hope schools are still doing that for all different aspects of life, because sometimes I feel like these kids just have no idea what's available to them out there. So obviously had some effect on you. All right, good. So let's start with you, Dr. Bahadrani. If someone is experiencing heart problems, what are some of the symptoms that they would be looking for?
Sure, yeah. So probably the most common symptom to expect if you're experiencing symptoms of what we call angina, which is when there is an imbalance of oxygen delivery to what the heart muscle is requiring, is a chest pain or chest pressure, sometimes described as an elephant sitting on my chest. This can also be accompanied by shortness of breath, a feeling of shortness of breath when you exert yourself, and can also be accompanied by having symptoms of lightheadedness or feeling like you're going to pass out. Other symptoms might include feeling very short of breath when you lie down, almost like a symptom of suffocation, like you can't catch your breath when you're trying to lay down.
Okay, so obviously symptoms that would feel pressure. Do people ever mistake that for indigestion?
All the time. And that's one of the things that we try to advocate for, is that you pay attention to your body. And if the symptoms persist and you're kind of ignoring them, that's when you get into trouble. But yes, heartburn is definitely one of the mistaken alternative causes of chest pain.
So, and we'll talk to Dr. Van in just a second, but let's expand on this, because, patients are afraid to come to the hospital, but why is it important for them not to delay? I mean, could this cause them to have a heart attack?
Absolutely. One of the most severe causes of this is if there is a complete occlusion of the blood flow to the heart muscle, which is a heart attack. And in our line of work, we say time is heart muscle. And so the longer that you delay getting to the hospital to be evaluated, the more time goes on that heart muscle could be dying. And so if you wait too long, you can develop a very severe sequela of heart attack, which is cardiogenic shock. And this can be very dangerous.
Wow. I hadn't heard that term before. So Dr. Van, I'm going to have you kind of jump in on this one, because it's sort of along the same lines here of people being afraid. Why shouldn't people be afraid to come to the hospital?
Well, the hospital itself has performed a lot of safety protocols following the guidelines from the CDC and the Orange County Public Health Department. So there's, for example, Saddleback has divided the hospital in multiple zones to make sure that the safety protocols are performed, and the patients that are suspected to have COVID are separated. I think in general, for the most part, the physicians and the hospital staff feel very safe coming in work every day. There is 100% compliance with the masking mandate. And in general, we feel that the environment is very safe for patients to seek care.
Okay. All right, great. And then also one other question for you, Dr. Van, is can emergency heart surgery be prevented by routine visits? I mean, obviously, what Dr. Bahadrani is saying is that you have to pay attention to your body. But upon visiting a cardiologist, what are some things that they look at?
Yeah, Dr. Bahadrani is correct. The earlier that you can visit your physician for routine visits actually lead to a better quality of life and reduce your chance of requiring emergency surgery in the future. So as Dr. Bahadurani mentioned, time is muscle, and it's very important to seek earlier care, and with routine visits, you can prevent a lot of the complications of cardiovascular disease. Okay.
Now, if someone, Dr. Bahadurani, let me ask you this one. If someone was to receive, they were suffering from a heart attack, upon coming to the emergency room, what would they be experiencing?
Sure. So what you can expect when you arrive to the emergency room is to be evaluated by nursing staff as well as an emergency room physician. They will initiate some basic evaluation, including taking your history, you're doing a physical exam, and then they'll obtain an electrocardiogram as well as some baseline blood work.
Okay.
Based on the results of that data, then they'll move on to the next step accordingly.
Okay. All right. Great. Good to know. Now, one last thing is, prevention of heart disease is something I think we're always trying to do. And, sometimes you have various differences on how you would do that. However, I'm assuming the two of you probably have similar ideas, but I would like to ask you both anyway. So, Dr. Van, what would be your suggestions?
My suggestion is to adhere to a very good balanced diet, which includes eating a complement of fruits and vegetables, fiber, and fish products. These are a diet that's endorsed by the American Heart Association. In addition, regular exercise has been shown to prevent heart disease, and it expands to all ages, from 20-year-olds to 90-year-olds. In general, I think the most important thing is kind of know your risk factors for developing heart disease, especially if you have family history. In addition to routine visits, cholesterol monitoring and checking your fasting glucose is certain ways that you can do to prevent the onset of cardiovascular disease.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Dr. Bahadurani, what do you think?
I'm 100% in agreement with what Dr. Van said. But in general, what I tell my patients is there's a lot of diets out there that you can look and read into. The American Heart Association has a very good website that has a lot of information there, including recipes. If you wanted to go on the furthest extreme of dietary benefits, the plant-based diet is probably the one that's going to give you reversal of atherosclerotic disease. And I do concur with Dr. Van regarding the exercise. The American Heart Association recommends at least 45 minutes a day of exercise. And this is not, simple exercise of, lifting weights at the gym. It's more of a cardio intensive type of exercise. Something along the road of cycling or hiking, something that will elevate your heart rate to at least about 75 to 80% of your maximum.
Did that increase? Because I thought at one point it was only 30 minutes.
It has increased, yeah.
Well, that makes it harder. Darn it. Well, thank you both. I appreciate you taking the time to be with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back after this.